If you've ever wondered how to attach objects in Tinkercad, the feature you're looking for is called grouping. In Tinkercad, grouping is what lets you combine multiple shapes into one single object, so they move, resize, and behave together. It's one of the most useful basics to learn, especially when you're building parts, making models, or creating shapes that need to fit together neatly. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to attach items in Tinkercad, step by step, including how to group objects, how to keep colors, how to ungroup later, and how holes work when you combine shapes. If this tutorial helps you out, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more easy Tinkercad tutorials just like this. Let's jump right in. First, open your Tinkercad design and place the objects you want to attach. The most important thing here is positioning. If you want Tinkercad to connect the shapes properly, they need to touch or overlap each other. Tinkercad doesn't really glue shapes together in a physical sense. Instead, it combines them based on where the objects intersect. So if your pieces are too far apart, grouping them won't really look attached. Move the shapes close together until they are touching, overlapping, or sitting exactly where you want the final combined object to be. Once your shapes are in the right place, you need to select them. There are two easy ways to do that. The first method is to click and drag your mouse to draw a selection box around all the objects you want to join. This is great when several parts are nearby and easy to capture at once. The second method is to hold down the Shift key and click each object one by one. This is helpful if the objects are spread out or if you only want to choose specific shapes. After selecting everything you want to attach, you're ready for the actual grouping step. Now look at the top right toolbar and find the Group button. It looks like a square and a circle merged together. This is the icon you need. Click it once and Tinkercad will combine all the selected objects into a single grouped shape. At this point, your objects are now attached and you can move them around as one unit. You can also resize the group together, rotate it, and manage it much more easily than before. If you prefer keyboard shortcuts, you can do the same thing by pressing Ctrl+G on your keyboard. That's a fast way to group objects without reaching for the toolbar. After grouping, you may notice something important. The color changes. By default, Tinkercad will turn the grouped object into a single color. That can be confusing if you are expecting each part to keep its original look, but don't worry, there's a fix for that. If you want to preserve the original colors of different shapes inside the group, click the solid color circle in the inspector window, then look for the multicolor option and enable it. This is especially useful if you are making more detailed models and want each part to remain visually separate even though the shapes are attached together. It's also important to understand that grouping in Tinkercad is not permanent. That means if you change your mind later, you can undo the attachment. To separate the objects again, simply select the grouped model and click the Ungroup icon, which is right next to the Group button. If you like shortcuts, you can also press Ctrl+Shift+G on your keyboard. This will break the group apart and let you edit the pieces individually again. So if you ever group something by mistake, or if you need to make adjustments later, you can always ungroup it. Now let's talk about one of the most useful Tinkercad tricks, holes. If you group a solid shape with a hole shape, Tinkercad will cut the hole out of the solid object. This is how you create openings, slots, cutouts, and detailed cavities in your design. For example, if you place a whole cylinder inside a solid block and then group them together, the whole shape will subtract material from the block. This is incredibly helpful for making custom parts and functional models. Just remember that the hole must overlap the solid in the area you want removed, or it won't cut anything out. So, to quickly review the process, first, position your objects so they touch or overlap. Second, select the shapes using a drag box or the Shift key. Third, click Group or press Ctrl+G to attach them together. If needed, turn on Multicolor to preserve the original colors. And if you want to edit them separately later, use Ungroup or Ctrl+Shift+G. If you're using a hole, grouping will subtract it from the solid shape and create a cavity. That's really all there is to it. Once you understand grouping, attaching objects in Tinkercad becomes very simple. It saves time, keeps your design organized, and makes your projects much easier to manage. If this helped you learn how to attach things in Tinkercad, please make sure to like this video and subscribe for more beginner-friendly tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.